A very good morning, class 11th. So, after Christmas holiday, we are back again with our another phylum, that is Annelida. If you recall, what was our last lecture? That is Aschelminthus, right? And in this lecture, we are going to talk about our another phylum, or I will say phylum of worms, because most of the members of this phylum, they are worms, like earthworm, leech, Nereis. So we are going to talk about these worms today, right? So phylum is Annelida, and commonly it is known as annelids. Actually, the reason they are known as annelids because of the this word annulus, little rings. Annulus means little rings. That is means the body is very well developed into segments, right? Very well visible metameric segmentation body they have, and the body surface, because this is completely marked with these metamers. So the reason for these they have these little rings, that is the reason they are known as phylum is named as Annelida, right? And the example which we are going to discuss throughout the lecture, and we are going to take into consideration, that is earthworm, which is also known as Pheretima, Nereis, and Hirudinaria, which is your leech. Most of the members, I already told you, they look like worms. Habitat, you can find them in aquatic also, terrestrial also. They are free living form, as well as few are parasitic also. So they have different, not very fixed habitat, like the sponges and like the like your Ctenophora group. They can be aquatic, they can be terrestrial, फ्री लिविंग भी हो सकते हैं, एंड फ्यू आर पैरासिटिक ऑल्सो. General characters, if I talk about, then again, now because in the previous group we started with the that triploblastic, as well as from the platyhelminthes we started with bilateral symmetry. So this annelids, there is no doubt they are triploblastic, means they are developed from three germ layers. And what are those three germ layers? Ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Bilateral symmetry, they show bilateral symmetry. And if you don't know what is bilateral symmetry, then please, I will request you to watch lecture number 1. You will get clear idea that why we are writing just only these terms, because we have already discussed these terms in our first lecture. They are coelomates, if you recall. Now, Aschelminthus, which were your round worms, they were known as, in which Ascaris, it is described as pseudocoelom, because mesoderm was present in the patches form, but here true body cavity is developed, means they are coelomates. They have now well developed your mesoderm, right? Mesoderm is well developed, so they are coelomates. Organ system is very well developed in this phylum. Okay, so we are going to now talk about one by one every system. First, I am taking the outermost body wall, that is skin. If we look at the outermost body wall, it is covered with the outermost layer. And what is this outermost layer? It is cuticle, and cuticle is going to play very helpful role in respiration also in these type of worms. The second layer which protect the body wall and which provide protection, that is epidermis. So second layer which is observed here, that is epidermis. So this red one is epidermis, and black one is our cuticle, and third layer is longitudinal and circular muscles. These are our muscular layer which help the terrestrial organisms in motion, muscular layer. So you will observe 3 layers. Skin has 3 layers. Outermost cuticle, which has collagen fibers. Middle one is epidermis, which is single layered, and innermost is muscular layer, and it has 2 types of muscles. If now again just go through Escalmenthus, and did we talk about circular muscles there? No, 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 no. We did not talk about circular muscles there, but here we are introducing both longitudinal and circular muscles which help annelids in locomotion. Skin is very moist, right? Skin is very moist and brownish in color, and moist is because of the presence of mucus gland which keeps secreting mucus. They have very slippery skin. Okay, this was about the outer body wall. Digestive system is well developed. They have tube within a tube body plan, means complete alimentary canal which has both openings, that is at anterior and they have mouth, and at the posterior end they have anus. Respiration is mostly respiration and osmoregulation that has been taken care by the skin. So that is why the respiration very common in annelids is cutaneous respiration, which is observed in earthworm and leeches. Few aquatic forms, they have special structures like gills. In Nereis, it respire through parapodia. Parapodia is the structure which help Nereis in swimming also. These are the appendages, और appendages जैसे कि आप amoeba में false feet होते हैं, so they have also kind of appendages which are present throughout the skin. If I show you the picture, as you can see that these are parapodia, and they are present all over the skin in Nereis, and these help this Nereis in swimming also, and through this parapodia osmoregulation and respiration is done, right? So the respiration is mostly through the skin or through the moist skin. You can write down moist skin by the process diffusion. Excretory system, either they can be a monotelic or ureotelic. If they have lot amount of water, or you can say they are aquatic forms, they prefer a monotelic, and mostly terrestrial forms, they follow ureotelic excretory system. Excretory structure here is known as nephridia. So if you are asked that tell one structure or one special excretory system, which excretory structure which is observed in Annelida, then that is your nephridia. Nephridia is of 3 types which are observed in this Annelida. Now we are saying that they have many rings, right? And these small segments, they are separated from each other with the help of septa. So sometimes this nephridia, they are present in septa. So these kind of nephridia which are present in these septa, they are known as septal nephridia. Sometimes nephridia is observed on the skin, present on the skin. It is known as integumentary nephridia, and if it is present around pharynx, then it is known as pharyngeal nephridia. So depending on its position, that is, you have 3 types of nephridia, that is septal, integumentary and pharyngeal. If they are present on the septa, they will be septal. If they are on the skin, they will be integumentary. If they will be around pharynx, then they are known as pharyngeal. Nervous system, there is circumpharyngeal nerve ring and ventral nerve cord is their circumferential, very complicated and very typical word for their nervous system. Now try to understand is that here if it is pharynx, then one ganglion is sitting at the dorsal side, right, and one ganglion is present here on the ventral side. So they are connected with the help of nerve cord, right? So there are two ganglions, or you can imagine it like this. There are two ganglions which are connected with the help of nerve cord. So a pair of ganglia connected by a nerve cord is the characteristic feature of this nervous system, right? So what will you find in the nervous system of earthworm? Ganglion pair as well as ventral nerve cord. आपको पता है डॉर्सल होता है हमारे पीछे वाला साइड, back side, and ventral is our front side. So one ganglion is on the dorsal, one ganglion is on the ventral side, and they are attached with the nerve cord. Reproduction, they can be unisexual, means separate sex organs, means one body has only one organism has only one sex organ, and this is commonly observed in Nereis. And bisexual, you already know that what are hermaphrodite? One organism has both sex organs, male as well as female, which is the feature of earthworm and leech. In books there is another word which is mentioned, usually we use this word for plants, that is dioecious. Now हम गलती जो करके आते हैं, dioecious की मतलब एक ही बॉडी में आप दोनों चीजें डाल देते हो, मेल एंड फीमेल, बट नो, डाई मीन्स टू. So here you have to keep this thing in mind that both male and female, they are present separately. That you have to understand about dioecious. Monoecious means, मोनोशियस को कैसे याद रखना है कि एक ही बॉडी है, मोनो मीन्स वन बॉडी बोथ ऑर्गन्स, राइट. सो आप कभी कंफ्यूज नहीं होगे, नहीं तो हमेशा आप डायोशियस को समझोगे कि एक ही बॉडी में दोनों हैं. नो, मोनोशियस से समझना है कि एक ही बॉडी में दोनों हैं. एंड डायोशियस मीन्स दे हैव सेपरेट मेल एंड फीमेल सेक्स ऑर्गन्स. नाउ यूजली हमें देख के लगता है कि बिकॉज दे आर hermaphrodite, so their body will follow self fertilization, but no, they favor cross fertilization. And cross fertilization, for cross fertilization they have one adaptation or condition which is known as protandrous. Pro means pehle, right, pre you can say, and androus is androus word we use for males. So male sex organs, they mature first and eggs, they get matured later on, because they both are maturing at a different time period. So chances of self fertilization becomes very less. Although earthworm and leech, they both are bisexual, but still they favor cross fertilization because of protandrous condition. Development can be direct or indirect. Indirect is observed in Nereis, which has larval stage, and larva of Nereis is known as trochophore larva. Trochophore larva is free swimming, and earthworm and leeches, they do not have larval stage, so the development is direct. If still you are having confusion regarding direct and direct, indirect development. So I will really prefer you that please go through lecture 1 first and then come back to this lecture. Now the last one is circulatory system. Closed circulatory system is observed here because it means vessels have been introduced, and some vessels, they behave as pumping hearts, although not very well developed heart is there, but yes, the vessels have been introduced, so the circulatory system is closed type. So quick recap points which you should keep in mind when you are reading your annelids: metameric organization, segmentation body, longitudinal and circular muscles. In the aquatic forms, there is the development of parapodia, right? Parapodia means they help in the swimming, in the nares, as well as they have nephridia as their excretory structure. Reproduction, they can be unisexual or they can be bisexual. So this is all about the general characteristics of phylum Annelida. As you can see, this is the structure of our nares, which has parapodia throughout the body, and then earthworm, which is clear cut, that is mouth. As you can see, this is the mouth and there is anus, both anterior and posterior, and very well developed, and very mucous moist skin, which is observed in leech. So these three examples of Annelida, and try to draw the diagram of earthworm, because through this you will be able to keep one example in mind when you are reading your phylum Annelida, right? So next we will meet you on Monday with the another phylum. Till then, all of you, I will request, please go through the previous phylum.